I know a lot of the focus is probably now on to San Jose State, but I have to ask you about the play there at the end of the Apple Cup. Just kind of what you saw and just kind of your thoughts on KT and Eddie and Ansel and everyone kind of stepping up to make that play.
Yeah, I mean, obviously huge play, the one that people remember. Obviously there's a ton of stuff leading up to that, but, not so much I think what we saw. I think what you did see post-snap, though, is the heart of this team. I mean, you saw the effort, the energy, the physicality, and guys without hesitation going to get it, and I'm really proud of, obviously, that play, but the effort throughout the game.
Coach Dickert said Monday, and then I think we actually saw it on the Twitter video that came out about the game, that he checked with you a couple times to make sure you liked the look going into that speed option, and you were convicted on it. What about it did you see that made you think we have the right look here?
Well, they took a time out and they came out with a different personnel group, and when it works, it's always the right call, right? But I'll tell you, I felt like we're gonna dance with the one that we rode with all week, right? So that was the one we practiced, and we felt good about that call. And you never know with 100% certainty what you're gonna get, but the guys executed it because they had done it in practice.
What was your, where were you on the sideline for that play? What was your angle? And, when did you realize that was going to work out?
I was about a mile up in the booth. About a mile up in the booth, yeah. And so the reaction was pure joy. I think at that point, I was really fired up. And honestly, I was even more fired up for the response. I mean, once he made that play, and a lot of guys had involvement, but once KT got him down, I mean, you saw the sideline erupt, and I think that's the brotherhood that Coach and our staff preaches.
What are you seeing out of San Jose's offense right now?
It's explosive, absolutely explosive. I think they push the ball downfield. They do it in a couple different ways, whether it's drop back pass or RPO. I think they have a really good set of receivers, and they do a good job protecting them. It's a new challenge. It's a 100% new challenge, and it's going to be a lot different each week. When you're playing defense, you see one offense that is not that similar to the next offense, and it's another challenge for us to go out and put our stamp on how we play.
On second and goal on that final drive, Steve makes just a really great play. What did you see from him, and how was he able to do that?
I was effort and strain. I mean, that's want to. I mean, that was a difficult play for him. He fought through it, finished strong, got him down, and got us an opportunity for another snap. And that's what we always talk about. I mean, if you strain and you hustle and you finish and you really want to, our job is to get us another snap, and he did just that. It was awesome.
For your defensive back room, obviously you've put couple guys into the NFL the last couple of years, specifically last year too. What have you seen from these guys who've stepped up and kind of following in those NFL guys?
I just think growth. I think they have a growth mindset. I think they're never satisfied with where they're at. I truly believe the best is yet to come for that group and this defense. I don't think we've played our best football yet, but I think they have that mentality. I think they're very hungry, but they're humble to understanding that, you have to put in the work through the week to get the results on Saturday.
For your defensive line, there's a lot of question marks, with RJ and BJ going, and a lot of guys stepping up. But they've made some real impacts, especially against Tech and against UW. What have you seen from your defensive line?
I think very similar. I think each guy is competing. Each guy has different things to work on, and I think they attack the work. When you to your point, you lose certain guys, but that's going to happen, right? And it's the next man's opportunity to step up, and that's really what Coach preaches. I mean, every game is an opportunity, and so and to be honest with you, every snap is an opportunity, and I think they have attacked it. And again, that's a group, and I think with our whole group that we have not played our best football yet.
Through 3 games, I won't ask you for an MVP, but how about a breakout player? You have a breakout player through 3 games on defense?
Oh, man. There's so many to name, and I don't know if it's a breakout player, but I just see the consistency I guess I got to go to, and I guess that's where my mind goes to is an Andrew Edson. You see it play in, play out. I don't think there's any hesitation. I think he's been a good player, but I think he's taken it to another level, and, this last game really showed that.
And then kind of in the same mold a little bit, you get out here, you see the scout team guys, see some of the younger guys. Who's kind of impressed you from that group, through these first kind of weeks of practice when maybe they're not seeing the field yet?
Yeah, I think, again, I go to consistency for a young guy is a guy like Frank Cusano that, day in and day out just comes to work, loves playing football. I think he truly loves his teammates, and I think it shows up every day.
And then want to specifically ask about, talk about the interior. I want to ask about Goose a little bit. You know, he's not a guy that maybe is going to get on the stat sheet with the sacks and the TFLs, but you see the impact and how many blocks he eats and how much space he kind of takes up. Where have you kind of seen him not only kind of break out as a player or emerge as a player, but also as a leader, kind of being the vocal guy of that DT group?
Yeah, I think, first and foremost, he is disruptive. There's no question about it. He's very disruptive, and we the media, or maybe I shouldn't say the media, the fans may not see what he does in there, but when you're taking on close to 700 pounds of double teams all the time and causing havoc in there, that lets the guys behind him run free. From an off-the-field standpoint, I think he's embraced the role of being a part of a leadership group. He has a voice, and he uses that voice in a positive manner, and I think his growth has been night and day from a year ago, really, and you see it on the field doing his job too, consistently, not trying to work around blocks or anything like that. He's working through people.
What's the process of making your way from the booth to the field after that game? And are you just elated on the way down, or how does that all work?
Yeah, that one, elated would be a good word. Yeah, you're pretty fired up. You can't wait to get with, all the guys. I mean, that's really what it's about, You always hear people come back and talk to the team, and what do they talk about? They talk about the locker room, they talk about the brotherhood and all those things. Man, you just can't wait to get with your crew down on the field and celebrate a win like that.
Is there a specific coach's elevator, or how does that work from where you
different
were?
Places are different, but there's an elevator, and we were sprinting to it. There's no doubt, out of breath by the time we got to the field.
And then last thing for me, I'm curious, what kind of challenge has Wayshawn given you guys on defense just to practice, and then just him as a running back?
Anytime you go against quality opponents, iron sharpens iron, and he's one of those guys. I mean, it's a challenge when he's in there, just like some of our other guys. But, I think he runs hard, has good vision, and anytime you do that, you better be on point on defense.
Talk about growth and development for a lot of these guys. How have you seen yourself grow and develop in this position?
I think, year twos, I don't want to use the term, I guess, comfortable, but you're more, the guys better. You're not spending, January trying to learn who everybody is and those type of things. So I think just from that standpoint, it allows you to move further faster. And I think that's the biggest thing, the familiarity with what we do, how we do things here, the players, the coaches, all those things. That has the most impact, I think, on my personal growth here is just that everything's not brand new. You understand what the expectations, what the standard of the program, what we preach here, and understand each person, how they are individually. And when you're first get to a new program, there's 120 names to learn. So it does take a little bit, but feel very comfortable with where we're at now.
And what's your vision kind of just for the rest of the season? How high can you and can this team go?
Well, it's going to go as far as the leaders take us. That's the bottom line. And I think, every challenge is a new challenge, like we talked about. I think you're trying to go 1-0 that day, and I know that's coach speak, but it's coach speak for a reason. When you get too far ahead or too far in the past, it doesn't allow you to take steps forward. And I think as long as we stay with the process, like I said a few times in this, I think our best football is yet to be played.